we will now hear chapter 17, verses 11 till 19, and we will hear about sacrifices and austerities in the modes. And interesting, these austerities, we can also learn a lot from that. Let's see, here we have up. Person in the modes of
what is the question?
Probably, please.
Oh, okay.
So, person in the mode.
Okay. No, I said like, did you ask something?
No, I did not ask a question. But, so, person in the mode of passion perform austerities to gain respect and receive a worship. That's already verse. That's the last verse of the chapter. That's the beginning. So Lord Krishna describes sacrifice and austerity in the modes of nature. We will start with 11, that one who worships God out of duty without some ulterior motive, that places one in the mode of goodness. That we will read the verse. Afhalankang Sibir Chahyo Viditishtoya Ichyate Yastavyam Eviti Mana Samadhaya Satvikam. Of sacrifice is a sacrifice performed according to the directions of scriptures as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward, is in the mode of goodness. Sacrifice. So we hear about sacrifice, austerities, and penances. First, sacrifice. That Srila Prabhupada in the purport says, the general tendency is to offer sacrifice with some purpose in mind, but there is here it is stated that sacrifice should be performed without any such desire. It should be done as a matter of duty. One should go simply, as at the end of the purport, one should go simply to offer respect to the deity. This will place one in a mode of goodness. It is duty of every civilized man to obey the injunctions of the scriptures and offer respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That there are not much commentaries of Srila Prabhupada, so this section will go quick, and then we can go quick till the end of this chapter, and maybe see also the first part of chapter 18, 12. Abhisandaya tu phalam dambhaktam apichefayat. Ichate bharata shasta tam chahyam vidirachasam. But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit for the sake of pride or chief of the Bharatas, you should know in the mode of passion. That's passion out of pride and material benefits. If there must be something in for me. And the next verse, tamasa, sacrifice in ignorance. Vidihinam ashristanam mantrahinam madakshinam shraddha vyaitam chahyam tamasam parichakshate. Any sacrifice performed without regard for the directions of scriptures, without distributing of prasad, spiritual food, without chanting the Vedic hymns and remunerations to the priest, and without faith, is considered to be in the mode of ignorance. We read a small purport. Faith in the mode of darkness, or faith, is actually faithlessness. Some people worship some demigod, but just to make money. And then and then spend the money for recreation, ignoring the scriptural injunctions. Such ceremonial show of religiosity are not accepted as genuine. They are all in the mode of darkness. They produce a demonic mentality and they do not benefit human society. Verse 14. Devatvyako prachya puchnam sachamaryavam padvamachayam imsam sasariram tapa uchate. Austerity of the body. And that's interesting. Austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord. The Brahmins, the spiritual master and superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. The purport, few lines. These should be given proper respect. One should practice cleansing oneself externally and internally, and he should learn to become simple in behavior. For sex is sanctioned in the scripture only in marriage, not otherwise. That is called celibacy. So Srila Prabhupada clarifies some of the points here. That and now the austerity of speech, and that's also very important for us to practice. Anutvehakaram vakyam satyam priya hitam sayat svathyaya bhyasanam cheva vanmayam tapa uchate. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful. First, truthful. Everything we say must be truthful, must be beneficial, not agitating others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. So it's mentioned here, the purport. When a teacher speaks, he can speak the truth for the instruction of his students, but such a teacher should not speak to those who are not his students, if he will agitate their minds. And then one should at once quote from scriptural authority to back up what he is saying. That there are important points here for us to consider in our practical day-to-day life. So do not speak, do not agitate others. This is in the Bhagavatam. Vidura, after being on pilgrimage for 30 years, visit Dhritarashtra. And he wants to Dhritarashtra to inspire him to come out of ignorance and start to do austerities to become a Dhira, to take the spiritual path. And after 35 years, he meets the Pandavas and so on, and they are so happy to see him. But Vidura is aware that Krishna passed away from this world, that Krishna left. But the Pandavas don't. They don't know. And he's not disclosing it. So that's interesting. We hear many times bad news and we are eager to tell it to others. But you try it out. If you hear bad news, why should you be the bearer of bad news? They will know it anyway from others. So we should not be eager to tell the bad news, that it agitates others. So, because also, like in our movement or outside our movement, there are so many issues going on. If it's not your service, don't go into these issues. That's not necessary. That if you go into it, it will degrade your consciousness, and you will degrade the consciousness of others by talking about all these issues. So this is a practical point here. Beneficial. It should be beneficial what you have to tell others. Of course, sometimes you may be in a position that you need to correct others, but then it's your service. But so this is important points. Also, another point in the purport that Srila Prabhupada makes, that and Krishna says that at the end of the Gita. Don't give this confidential knowledge to those who are not austere, who are not my devotees, who are against me. So we should not instruct anyone who does not want to be instructed by us. That is not beneficial.
Maharaj, there is a question if you give me a chance.
Please.
So,
Your voice is breaking up.
yes, so I'm saying, like, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can I ask you?
Please.
So yeah, it's also aparad. It says the person who do not have respect of Krishna consciousness, Lord Krishna, do not tell them. But also, we're doing Namhata, and we're going to house. At least some people might have some Shraddha. That's why they came here. But they also have demoniac activities or demoniac mentality.
Yes, sure.
And they go along, engage with argument or stuff. So in that moment, shouldn't we do the Namhata?
No, that Srila Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita. We will read that further, or maybe we read that all. Then sometimes the devotees are giving an open class, and there may be people who are not eligible to hear that, who are against Krishna. But, he says, the devotee tries to be more merciful than the Lord and still try to give them. Of course, that there's sometimes heavy reactions, because Krishna says, don't do it. But still, we want to be more merciful than the Lord. But of course, when we do that, we get great reactions. But beautiful like Prabhupada, they could do that. They could change their heart even. But we don't have that power. We should be careful with that. Usually, if we go door to door and we see they are inimical, we say, thank you. You go to the next and forget about it. Yeah. But yes.
So
yes.
So it we to doing it like sometimes in the Namhata we associating with them, and we actually like as a Vaishnava, not me, a Vaishnava giving the mercy to them. That is right. Isn't decrease the Vaishnava's quality also if associating them, and they increasing their quality?
Yeah, if you associate with them in the other direction, if you accept things from them, that will degrade you. As long as
I have to stay in my
as long as you only give Krishna consciousness, that's okay. Then you are protected.
Not taking anything from them.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's important.
Oh,
okay. Good. Thank you. So this is this verse 15, which is quite an important verse in our behavior. It's something to think about. That we go to the slideshow. See, this is this verse 14. Austerity of speech meant to quote from scriptural authority to back up one's statement. A teacher may speak the truth for the benefit of his students, but should not speak to others if their minds become agitated. That's also, we heard that before in the 3rd chapter, I think, where Krishna says we should not agitate others, but rather we should engage them in activities of devotional service. This is from the purport. I read it again. When speaking in spiritual circles, one's statements must be upheld by the scriptures. One should not once quote from scriptural authority to back up what he is saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to the ear. By such discussions, one may derive the highest benefit and elevate human society. That's 15. 16. Austerity of the mind is a very important thing. But austerity of the mind is to be fixed in Krishna consciousness and always thinking of the welfare of others. This will lead to satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence, which are also austerities of the mind. So, in this verse, we will hear these points are mentioned. The Prabhupada makes the point that if you are fixed in Krishna consciousness, always try to give Krishna consciousness to others for the welfare of others. This all will develop this satisfaction of the mind. We will read the verse now. So, mana prasada samyatvan. Mana prasada, satisfaction of the mind. Maunam atvam vinihaha. Bhavasam sudhir etyetat. Tapo manasam uchate. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. And I will read a few of the sentences of this purport. That to make the mind austere is to detach it from sense gratification. One should be trained that it can always be thinking of the good of others. Be trained. We should train ourselves. One should not deviate from Krishna consciousness and must always avoid sense gratification. To purify one's nature is to become Krishna conscious. Satisfaction of the mind can be obtained only by taking the mind away from thoughts of sense enjoyment. The more we think of sense enjoyment, the more the mind becomes dissatisfied. Silence means that one is always thinking of self-realization. The person in Krishna consciousness observes perfect silence in this sense. Control of the mind means detaching the mind from sense enjoyment. One should be straightforward in his dealings and therefore purify his existence. So these are important instructions that so this is our mission for ourselves, to always think of Krishna and to think of the benefit of others. That's Prabhupada's mission. Also, it's personal application. We need to apply that every moment. That also text 15, austerity of speech. Now we have text 17, 18, 19, then 17, 18, 19, which is austerity. So we'll, and penance, we will hear goodness, passion, and ignorance again. So we can see here, we heard before about different sacrifices in these modes. Now austerity in the modes. Text 17. Shradaya paraya taptam tapastra trividam narai afalankang sibiryuktai satvikam parisakshate. This threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by man, not accepting material benefits, but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme, is called austerity in goodness. Austerity to please Krishna and not ask him something in return. That in 18 is in passion. Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is in the mode of passion. It's neither stable, not permanent. First line of the purport. Sometimes penance and austerity are executed to attract people and receive honor, respect, and worship from others. And then in the mode of ignorance. Moda gaina atma manoyat. Moda gainat manoyat. Vidaya kriyate tavam. Prasyut sadanachtam va. Tattamasam udaritam. Penance is performed out of foolishness with self-torture or to destroy or injure others is set in the mode of ignorance. And of course, that's Hiranyakasipu. There are many instances of foolish penance undertaken by demons like Hiranyakasipu that who performed austere penances to become immortal and kill the demigods. He prayed to Brahma for such things, but ultimately he was killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To undergo penances for something which is impossible to is certainly in the mode of ignorance. That so we may see that also some for political reasons they are fasting or what. That's all in the mode of ignorance. And penance is performed out of pride. We see that every day. That some businessmen can be very austere to get their desired goal. That is all in passion. Is to be avoided. So then this is the second session. We have still one slide here. That's verse 18. Perform person in the mode of passion, perform austerities to gain respect and receive worship. So that is the second session. Okay.